Hey, good morning, folks. Brad Cross here, BJC Outdoors. Hey, we're down here on Tennessee River this morning. We'll try to do a little catfishing, man. You can see the wind is whooping. It's got me cut off from anything on the main river. So we're up in this backwater, man. I'm pinned down, got my anchor pins down, tied off to them. This is where we're going to start. The wind's supposed to shift a complete circle by noon. So right now it's blowing out of the northeast, supposed to turn, blow out of the southeast. But you never know how that's going to go, how it's going to turn. It don't have a direction that it goes by. It just randomly spins on its own. But we're gonna start right here, man. We're fishing about 5 foot of water. This is the only place in this area that I can fish and actually sit up and have any kind of boat control. They dropped the water down quite a bit since I was out here last time, so it cut a lot of my areas that I could actually beach the boat. It cut that out. So we're gonna get these out, man. We're using skipjack. Today I got frozen fresh skipjack. That seems to be, still working. I don't like using frozen bait once the water gets above 55, but that's all I got right now. And I could have went and got some shad, but I thought, man, as rough as it is, it would have took me 2 hours just to drive to where I catch my shad and back, as rough as the water is. So we're gonna stick with skipjack, see how that goes. I think we'll be fine. But I'm gonna get these out and see what we can do. Y'all stay tuned. Problem I'm having today, first thing is getting myself set up closer to deep water. Like I said, this is backwater, man, and it's still just rolling across here, the wind. So I'm hoping it changes pretty fast so we can get to an area that's closer to deep water, because that's definitely the key right now. You gotta have some deep water close. Had a cold front roll through last night, and yesterday was beautiful, 85 degrees. Today it's windy and cold, and 40 degrees, and that's where the deep water comes in. These fish, they feel that the water temps dropped 3 degrees since I was here last time, so they feel that, man, especially in this shallow water, and a lot of times they'll head back out to the deep. If you're close to the deep water, you can still get on some fish, but you just got to set yourself up in the right areas, because some places are just dead water. Folks, we had to abandon that spot first thing and pull one of my pins out. So what I did, I just moved to my next spot that I feel like we can catch some fish in, and sit up here. Oh, there we go, folks. You got it. No, you got it, but he's definitely wanting it. Yeah, there are some flathead moving around, and they're coming up shallow. And right now, when the flathead are up shallow, they're definitely want feeding. They're not up here to like the blue cat. A lot of the blue cats are up shallow. They're thinking about the spawn. Flathead, they're a little further away from the spawn than the blues are. So one thing for sure, like I said, the water temp was 65 when I was out here last time. And that's not too far from the spawn. It's like, if the weather stayed stable, you're only away from, a couple of weeks away from spawning temperatures. But it's not going to happen that way, especially in my area, because the water temp fluctuates so much because of the cold fronts and stuff like that. And once we get on into April, you'll get, mid-April and on, cold fronts kind of go away. You'll still get some cool snaps, stuff like that, but not enough to really hurt anything for the water temp. Yep. There, got him too. he come off. You rascal. That's how I'm setting up my channel cat rig, folks. Double hook rig. I don't even know what that's called. I heard about it through my buddy Spencer Bowyer when I fished with him. He uses it a lot, and not for just channel. He uses it for blues and everything. And definitely a cool rig. And sometimes, like what Spencer told me, it makes sense too. You got two hooks on there, smaller baits, smaller hooks. And this is for blues, channels, or flathead, don't make no difference. You got twice as much scent, but a smaller serving. So if they're a little bit lethargic, or like today, you got a cold front come through, and they don't want to act right, then you can downsize your bait and have better results as far as catching fish. Because you know, if a fish comes through, if he's hungry, he's going to eat that small bait regardless. But if you got one that comes through that don't really want a big meal, a lot of times they'll pick that up too. But I am using a hook. I'm using a Mid-Atlantic Catfish 5/0 Predator, and it's a heavy wire hook, and it will hold a bigger fish too. If you get, you know, if you was to get a big blue on or a big flathead, it'll hold them too. He finally hooked himself up. He did. He did. Right behind the boat too. I wouldn't. 20 yards up there. And these jokers right here, when they get ready to eat, they eat. A little better. Oh, it was a little better. See that, and I had the head bait on, and he sat there and pecked and pecked and pecked and pecked, and finally got that head hook in his mouth. So he's a little bigger. Hey, you never know, man. We could catch a mongo over here, and just right out there, 100 yards is where I caught a nice blue last trip. Caught a flathead, so you know we're in a good area to still catch a big anything, even with these smaller baits. But I am gonna downsize my hooks a little bit, and we're gonna have some fun. Folks, I am getting beat down. I think that one, yeah, that one's on there. It don't feel like a bad one either. Definitely a channel. Like I said, we can possibly catch a mongo channel back here. Big headed rascal. Skinny dude, man. What are you so skinny for, man? There's bait everywhere. And I know as much as y'all eating and pecking around, there ought to be some big ones in here. Nice little channel, folks. I am gonna keep one out there with a bigger bait on it, just in case. You know, the blues and the flathead, they're really affected by these cold fronts, especially when it's, you know, transitioning in the season. They do the same thing in the fall. You're gonna take it this time. But as you can see, the channel cat are not affected at all. It don't affect the channel cat. I've never seen a day when the channel cat won't bite. So if you're having a tough day with the blues and the flathead, you can always go for channel, because channels will bite regardless. All right, folks, the wind's starting to die down a little bit, which is surprising, because most of the time it don't do what it says it's gonna do. So we're gonna roll these up, and I'm fixing to go around here and get in another spot that I've caught some good fish, and a little bit deeper water. I don't think they're up in this cove right here. Nothing but channel cat, and I did get one good bite on that rod, but they just bowed it over, but then it let it go. So don't know what it was. Could have been a big channel, may have been a big blue, I don't know. But we're gonna roll them up and move on up river here, and get in a spot where Got a little more confidence in. Like I said, this was the only place I could come to first thing, so that's the only reason we're sitting here, just checking it out. But we're close to where I'm going, but not close enough evidently. So that's what we're gonna do, and I get set up. I'll be right back with y'all. Oh, there we go. There's another one. Feels like a little better one there. Oh man. That was the best feeling channel cat I've hung into this morning. I don't know why it come off. Yep. Another old channy cat. What I'm trying to do, and so far it's working, is lure them on this side of the boat. Well, I got two out there with smaller baits on them and smaller hooks, so they'll leave my big baits alone. But so far it's working. It's not going to work the whole time, of course, because if they smell those big baits, they're going to go to them too. It makes me feel better when they're hitting on the right side of the boat. So, actually, it's the left side of the boat, but it's the right side of the boat that I'm talking about. There we go, folks. Yep. What I'm doing out here now, folks, I finally found well, I didn't finally find it. It's been here all morning, but I just spot locked out here in the wind, trying to let it hold me in my spot. But 99% of the time, this don't work because of it just don't work right with the wind. But the wind's still not exactly turned like it's supposed to, and it's about the only option I had once I left that. Oh, there we go. That's a good fish right there, y'all. If he stays on there. That was a better fish right there for sure. You stay on there, buddy. I sure hope so. No, he didn't. These two over here got my big baits on them. That was definitely a bigger fish. This may actually work. Playing with this one right here. You want to take it, son? There's a lot of slack in it. He may be on it. Yep, he is. Oh, there goes another one. Yep, there goes another one. Did he get on there too? No, I don't know if he did or not. He knocked a lot of slack in it too. Folks, this may be one of what you call a day of catching right here. A big headed channel. They must be rough on themselves in the winter. They must not eat much, man. They got big old heads and a little skinny body. Thank you, bud. Just about every one of them I've caught. Big old head and a little skinny body. There we go. Oh, that's a That's a channel cat. That's a good one. No. That's the first right there, folks. That's the first for me. Sure is. That's a big one. A big one too. Old Gasper Goo. I ain't never caught one on skipjack. I've caught them on a lot of things, but never caught one on skipjack. That's a big one too. Or a big-headed one. What are you doing up here, son? I'm trying to catch a catfish. That big old Gasper Goo right there, folks. Big old head on that joker. I've never caught one on skipjack. I've caught them on bluegill and shad. If I had shad, I would definitely expect that, but that's the first one I've ever caught on skipjack. He's up here because there's bait up here. He just wandered across that skipjack. Like I said, that's the first one I've ever caught on skipjack. Which, I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't eat skipjack. You know, skipjack's just another shad, but never really had any trouble with them except for shad and bluegill, stuff like that. Now we know. Folks, we've tried several different things this morning. The best bite I found was on the bank was a channel cat, and that even shut down. So what I'm fixing to do, since the wind's kind of more stable, blowing out of one direction, we're fixing to go to the nearest deepest water out here. And it's not the channel, it's just where right now we're in 6-7 foot. We're gonna go to the nearest deepest water, which is about 12 to 15 foot. I feel like these fish have pulled out of this shallow. The few that had moved up, pulled back out for this cold front. So we're gonna go out there and check it, man. I think that's where they're gonna be. There really ain't nowhere else for them to be. You know, I don't feel like they made that push all the way back out to the main channel, but I do feel like they pushed themselves back out into the more comfortable, deeper water. So we're gonna go check that out. Oh, there we go, folks. I was just fixing to get ready to move. Don't feel like a bad fish. Sure don't. I got him on my channel cat rig. Feels like a flathead. He ain't though. He's a nice blue though. Definitely the biggest fish of the morning. Come on over here, boy. Come on over here, boy. Come on over here, son. He didn't like that at all. Come on up here, boy. The littlest bait I got out there is the one that got hit. I ain't sit here long, about 15 minutes. I kind of sit up just a little bit further up than what I wanted to, and that's the reason I was going to move. But I was just going to back up. So I cut my trolling motor off and was drifting back, and I reached to reel up this rod, and that sucker took off. It's good blue though. Sure is. Maybe I don't need to move. That's crazy right there, folks. That fish ate both of them baits. Hey, quit that. I'm gonna turn you back, buddy. I'm gonna turn you back. That fish got both hooks in his mouth and both baits. He come through there just picking them up like peanuts. You always want to pick on my channel cat rig. But that's okay. They think my little channel cat rig won't handle them. But it will. Alright folks, there's a nice blue. Hey. Quit that. Nice blue. Had them old lampreys all over, got sores all over. Well girl, I appreciate you. Sure do. That's crazy right there, folks. I didn't even know there's a fish on there. Like I said, I started drifting back. I wasn't drifting back but about 30 yards. A lot of times when I do that, I'll just leave my lines out, drift back to them, and then reel them up. And I reached and grabbed this one. That joker took off. Good move, folks, coming out here. Like I said, that's maybe the only fish we catch, but it's definitely a start, and it kind of let me know that the bigger fish have moved back out here. You know, of course that's not a giant, but that's a good fish. Best one of the morning so far. So at least we did get a quality bite out here. And like I said, I'm still 300 yards. Further than that, I'm probably 600 yards from the main channel, but I'm at the closest deeper water from where the fish were. And with them just starting to move up, these little cold snaps like this, man, they can just turn them around on a dime and they'll go right back out, you know, where they came from. This is just a transition area where they come up, stop here before they move up. And then they'll move up and they'll just stop here on their way back out. I would have came out here first thing, but I couldn't fish out here. The river was too rough. Because I knew these fish were probably going to pull out of that shallow. But, you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to start your way at the bottom and work your way up. But like I said, I knew the wind was supposed to change a little direction and kind of slow down a little bit. And luckily it did, man, because most of the time it's just backwards. Like this morning, it was only supposed to be 4 miles an hour. But when I got here, I guarantee you it was blowing 20. And that's the thing, you know, you can't always depend on that because it's a guess forecast. You know, they can on the weather. People want to blame the weatherman. It's not the weatherman's fault. You know, they've got these graphs that show this coming in, and you know, that's all they've got to go on. You know, but sometimes that graph can be wrong and nobody know it, or there'll be a change before it gets here, and when that happens, you just don't never know. The first time I've ever seen a cold front shut down a channel cat bite. Because normally, you know, you'll still get them channel cats nibbling everywhere you go, but they shut down over there where we was at earlier. I've never seen that before. Normally a channel cat they're not affected by a cold front, but I guess they can be. And I've seen fish on the graph everywhere I've been, even right here, but they just will not bite. I've downsized all my baits to small baits, you know, just little chunks, and that still ain't enough to entice them to eat. All right, folks, we're finna get ready to wrap this one up, man. Hey, it's been a tough morning, man. We got on them channel cat first thing, and you know, even they shut down, man. It's just one of them days. You know, you get a cold front, especially during the transition. The fish are trying to move up. You know, they're kind of confused with the weather. You know, 85 degrees yesterday, and then this morning it was 40. I mean, that's a 45-degree temperature jump. So it really affects them, man. Like I said, this spring transition is a lot more difficult than the fall because usually it's not nothing. There's no spawn involved. The spawn is everything to these fish right now, and of course they're not ready to spawn yet. But that's the thing. They move up. I was catching fish in 5 foot of water. Decent fish, and then all of a sudden they back out. When they move back out, they're ticked off. Because they was up there for a reason. That's where all the bait was. They was feeding, hanging out in comfortable waters, and now the temperature dropped. Water temperature dropped 4 degrees. It's I come up with a handful of excuses, man, but it really ain't none. Because like I said, we'll never know for a fact what causes them to do that. But when they shut down, ain't nothing you can do about it. But anyway, I'm gonna get this stuff up, man. Get on to the house. I hope y'all learned something today. I appreciate y'all watching. I'll catch y'all on the next one. See you then, and God bless you.